Why am I seeking a position on the board? A lot of my friends have asked me that question, followed immediately, are you nuts? But I've given a lot of thought to it, and I think the primary reason, and it's self-serving in a way, is that it's exciting and rewarding to be involved in an organization like SROA that's doing so much, and that I'm a part of. I'm an owner, and so that I think is what brings me back. I also have unfinished business. There's a lot of things that are going on in terms of development, in terms of problems that we're working to solve, and I hope that I bring some history and some insight into issues that are important to us, and so help in the process of problem solving, problem finding. Well, I've had the great good fortune to be elected to the board now twice. And in that time, I have served as the vice president and the president for 4 years. Of course, served then on many of the committees, and the task forces, for example, with the Shark, with the Property Exchange Task Force. And so I know all the governing documents, certainly, probably more than I really want to know about them. So I, again, hope that I bring some wisdom. Hopefully you get that the more you age and the more experience you have, to the challenge of being on the board. Sun River is uniquely situated in the fact that one, we have I think the biggest, longest private airport west of the Mississippi. But more importantly, one of our boundaries is the Deschutes River, marvelous river. We're out by the river right now, and access to the river is important to, I think, many of us for whatever activities. It could just be, as I related earlier, it's an opportunity to get out and see wildlife in their native environment. But the challenge we had was that the resort owns the launch, and the resort concluded that they had a liability problem with that launch area, and I think that's, if you go there in the summer, you see that's a obvious concern, people backing up and what have you. But they also had a significant problem with the degrading of the environment, of people getting out of their boats, and so the riparian zones were just dirt, and so they decided to close that off, and have been kind enough to enter an agreement with us a couple of years ago to allow us, the owners, to continue to use it. If you have your a proper identification. But that's coming to an end, and so we would then be faced with having no river access. And so I think there are many of us, and I believe the majority of folks, based upon a recent survey, this is the primary recreational amenity that we have. We don't have to pay anything for it. I've learned that there's a foolhardiness about saying that for the next 3 years I want to accomplish 3 things, because I think change is the operative term when you describe what's going on with SROA or any large complex organization, which SROA is. And so to come into it with, for example, projects that you would want to see done, is rather short-sighted, and so I would not say that I have projects that I would like to see have done. I would like to see fidelity to our mission, and continue using that as the raison d'etre of the things we do here. That we use a decision-making model that is based on facts and data and a clear understanding of, for example, who our owners are. We are an owners association, and it's imperative that it's not a homogeneous group. You know, half of us, or maybe 40%, rent their places. 60% of us don't. Maybe 15% of the people live here. 85% are non-resident owners. I'm one of those. So paying attention to and being systematic and trying to understand the wants, needs, opinions of our owners is crucial. I, being a non-resident owner, I certainly would bring that to the table. But no one group should. You know, we've got to find common ground, and I think, and I've said this before, our mission is the common ground that holds us together, and essentially is the thing we can rely on going into the future. You know, when I first thought of that, I was taken aback a bit, because what's not clear is appeal. You know, who's it going to appeal to? You know, do we? In the answer, in the strategy would differ dramatically based upon what your goal was there. And so, if the goal is to attract more daily visitors, then you know maybe you put a Ferris wheel in, which would be terribly inappropriate. But again, looking at who's your target audience with the improvements or the enhancements, and I think that's also what I would look at. Is I wouldn't look to change things as much as I would to improve them.